Comers, and welcome back, my fellow Aeternians. As always, it is me, Emperor AP, and thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. That is absolutely mind-boggling. We are a little bit early in the stream, but I wanted to get started to tell all of you who are actively sitting there waiting, thank you so much. I appreciate you liking already. We have 0 viewers right now, but 3 likes somehow. We always seem to do the impossible in this community, but I really, really appreciate that. As of right now, I'm not sure if you guys can see right here. I'm trying to look to see if you guys are able to catch this just a little bit. Maybe let me bring it closer to you. I am right now working on lighting this fire, and you might ask what this fire pit is for. I am happy to show you. We are going to be creating some clay crafts. So I actually have some old clay that I collected up for a video that should be coming out pretty quickly on Aeternian clay crafts and pottery. And this isn't actually clay from Vitae. This isn't original official Aeternian clay, but it is something that we're using as a substitute because the land here is very similar to the land in Vitae, being in the same state. So we are going to be using this to start working with some pottery to kind of show you guys some different clay crafts that we can make. And we're going to go about in the future learning about glazing processes and stuff like that. So again, please feel free, guys, to drop us a comment. Let me know what you guys are up to, and also just any questions you have. I know I haven't been able to do a live stream in such a long time. It is really, really nice to be able to join you guys. I didn't want to do one today. I wasn't certain whether or not we'd be able to do one for a long time, but we hit 2,000 subscribers. How could I not with us hitting 2,000 subscribers? That is absolutely incredible. So guys, I appreciate you so much. I wanted to show you this fire pit. We're actually going to go ahead and light and get the ceremony started because it is 12:01. So I hope you guys are enjoying what you're doing in your neck of the woods, and we are getting this started. Let's see. Let's get in there to some of our pine straw. See if we can't get this baby to catch. What we may have to do is kind of artificially start it here. Well, I don't know. I'm starting to see some smoke. We may have gotten it. We may have gotten it just a little bit. What's everybody up to? It's good to see you guys. Yep, there we go. You can start to see it smoking up a little bit. I can certainly smell it. Let's see. We go ahead and give it just a little bit of air. I think we should be good to go. But what is everybody up to in the micronational community? How are you guys doing? I am so glad to see you guys. And again, it's something where I feel like a lot of you appreciate our edited videos. People have wanted to see a more official approach to what Aeternia has been up to. Look, our fire is still going. Especially with us going to Microcon. But this has been something that is kind of interesting. We haven't been able to show off too much, just the day-to-day processes that we've been up to. And it's been a lot. So I am excited to be showing you guys that and to be continuing forward with another Aeternian live stream. A historic moment for us and being able to be back. This is something that's definitely a big part of our culture because you guys as subscribers, you know, it may seem to some degree to be distant, you know, there's an online connection, so to speak, but more so than that, you guys help to fuel our community. Having the subscribers that you guys are and really pushing our content forward, talking to people about what we do, showing them kind of our advances and progressing what micronationalism is in general, helps to unite our community. You know, you guys are like the kindling to this fire. It'd be incredibly difficult for us to get anything started without your backbone, without your support. And so that being the case, you have turned this into what's about to be a roaring fire. So again, I really appreciate it, guys. As you can see, our smoke's starting to bellow up a little bit more. But we're getting it going. I'm going to let this fire heat up these bricks for a few minutes while we continue to talk, and I start prepping our clay. So I hope you guys are enjoying the hangout, our celebration today of 2,000 subscribers, hopefully on to many, many more thousands. United Kingdom of New England says good morning. TNT Man says congratulations on 2K. Thank you, TNT Man. I have seen your comments talking to us about our nation, and I really appreciate you asking such insightful questions. Pukia says congratulations from the Kingdom of Kerbia. Thank you, Kingdom of Kerbia. It is great to see you, and I'm really grateful for you guys helping out and supporting us. One of the hardest things about trying to switch from live content to edited content has been the drop in watch time. Because of you guys joining our live streams so frequently, you can see it really going there. Because of you guys joining our live streams so frequently, we had a big boom in watch time hours. We were almost at 4K during the summer, during our peak at the summer. But now we've kind of dropped down a little bit. We're starting to pick back up. Like in our watch time hours, you can see that our baseline watch time hours are slowly peaking, which is great. I think it's with help from those edited videos, but these live streams are absolutely the place to be when it comes to helping us to grow and helping us to grow quickly. So the longer you guys hang out in the live stream, the longer you guys celebrate with us, it does make a real world impact on us as a community, because it helps us to get closer to monetization, and that helps us to get a little money in our pockets for making cool content like this for you guys and trying to push Aeternia forward. Again, we've been looking into different industries, different stuff we can do cheaply and easily, and these clay crafts, this earthenware, is something that's relatively cheap, relatively easy to do, and something you can do at home if you have the ability and the space. But if not, we certainly appreciate you checking out our stuff, and maybe you can learn a little bit here and use it for your own purposes one day. But that being the case, let me go ahead and answer some comments, hang out with you guys. Spookia says this is definitely a cause for celebration. 100% it's a cause for celebration. We've been going on YouTube for like 5 years, just over 5 years, just hit 2,000 subscribers. We had our 6-year anniversary in August for the Empire of Aeternia. We've been going on YouTube for, I guess, 4 years, a little over 4 years, but that's still incredible. 2,000 in 4 years. My friend Jet, the one who introduced me to YouTube, when we first started out, he was getting close to his 1,000. He's close to 3,000 now. So that is absolutely incredible. We've gone so far, so fast, and it's thanks to you guys making this community great. That being the case, and just a wonderful, nice place to be. I feel like this is one of the more community. While I'm talking, as you guys can see all this cool clay, I'm going to keep you guys still for a little bit, just so that you kind of have a place to hang out and chill. You can kind of see the fire going through there a little bit if you look at it. There's probably a better angle I could give you guys of this, but I don't know. This seems pretty nice. Let me see if I can kind of just show you the toasty oven there. Yeah, look at that. That's beautiful. I don't want to let all our heat escape, but check that out. That is pretty cool. And this is a nice fire design as well, because you can just kind of like shove more in there if you want. You don't even have to open it up. I just kind of grab twigs and sticks and stuff from our pile and kind of add it to there. So that's something that, it isn't anything crazy, but it's something that we can do that helps us to build a little semi-professional, not professional at all, a little janky setup to satisfy what we need. I also have these places where I've been kind of working on different projects from last time. So I'm going to slap this big guy down, and I'm going to throw some clay on top of it so we can get started with that. This is some clay that I actually kind of filtered out last time. Some pretty solid stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and pour a little bit of water on here, and then we're going to get started actually making some product. We have 9 viewers right now, 6 likes. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us, and just tell me what your micronations have been up to. I think part of the issue with us doing a lot of edited content lately has been that I don't get to connect with you guys as closely as I would like to. I love seeing your faces. I love, being able to connect with what it is that you're doing for your countries, and that's something that I think gets underestimated a lot in the community. I'm hoping to try and bring us back as we continue doing more and more with actually some large, ooh, look at this guy. Sorry, this is very off topic, but there is a swimmy salamander boy and a very big one chilling in the pool. I kind of need to rescue him because this is like a saltwater pool. I think he will die in there. Sorry everybody, we're about to go on a rescue. I don't know if you could see him, but there is a salamander that has fallen in their pool, and I'm going to try and rescue him before I grab that water for our clay. I know this is kind of changing up the process a little bit. It's not what we should be doing, focusing on our clay. We should be focusing on our clay, but we got to save this little guy, right? No man left behind in Aeternia. So we're gonna go ahead and grab him. I'm not sure if you guys can see him right there. I hope that it's not saying, oh, rotated device, you can't do it. But I'm gonna try and push him. He's alive, he's like swimming. Get on here, get on here, get on here. Ooh, I got him. Ooh, oh, nope, I just flipped him. Dang, okay. Okay. Oh, he's swimming fast. Okay. This has now become a very sidetracked video. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta jump back into it, but I don't want him to die. I'm like worried about it. I'm concerned about this salamander. He's a big boy. I want him to hang out with us. I'll let him chill for a minute, but dang, this is not good, guys. That is not healthy for him in any way. We gotta save him, but he's at the bottom of the pool. I'd have to like dive in at this point to try and grab him. So I'm gonna just grab a little bit of water and see what we can't do about that in a little moment. But what have you guys been up to? How are your nations? Again, one of the things that I kind of plugged recently is that we're trying to do more with our with giving back to the community and kind of showing off what you guys are up to. So a big part of that is we're going to be putting out relatively quickly a video on micronational currencies. Now that's not anything to be done super soon. We're going to kind of take our time with it and do it right. But hopefully within the next few weeks we'll have something like that out, just to be able to show off the unique innovations of the community and kind of show off for other people what they can be inspired by. Because I know that's one of the toughest things, and something that is most frequently asked about is like, hey, how do I get involved in this? What's the right way to start developing stuff? What stuff's most important in the community? So having all of those guidelines kind of right there in front of you is a nice thing to be able to see. And we talk about them, but we don't really get to show you guys off all the time and what you're doing. So I hope to be able to make that change and kind of help to push other micronations out into the spotlight and show what it is that you guys are up to, a little bit at a time, as much as we can. And then also trying to update you guys on what we're doing. Salamander's still just chilling in the pool. We really need to save him. It's the whole issue. We have a crisis at the moment during our celebration live stream. But we've got our gross muddy water here. Got some of our clay. What I'm going to be doing is getting that clay a little bit wet. I'm mashing it up on this rock right here. As you can see, once it actually crumbles apart, there really aren't many, if any, impurities in it. A couple little twigs and stuff I forgot to get out last time. There's a rock. But for the most part, pretty pure clay, pretty pure dirt. So we're going to get some water on there, drizzle it on top, and just start working with it. This is a very dirty process. You know, if you're not somebody who really likes to work with their hands or really likes to get messy, this may not be the type of craft for you. But it can definitely be satisfying. A lot of people pay a lot of money to do sculpting work and to do, pottery and earthenware stuff. But it really doesn't have to be. This isn't something that, needs to be a real crazy expensive or super difficult hobby or, even little business to get into. It just requires time and patience and trying to, develop an ability with it. I am by no means an expert right now. I'm just getting started, but hopefully over time we can see kind of some progression, and maybe that'll show you guys more of what we're up to. There's a lot of smoke going in your guys' face. I hope I can kind of dodge a little bit of that for you and show you what I'm up to here. Let me go ahead and set the camera back down so I can add some more fuel to our fire, and then we can start shaping this guy into what we want, so I don't rub my dirty hands all over the screen. And then I'll check the comments. We know that's what y'all are here for. Y'all are hyped to see your comment get shown. Y'all are hyped to get talking about your nations. So that's what we gotta do. But first, we gotta add more fuel to this fire. We're not going anywhere. And I really hope your nations are prospering. That was one of the things that, since we came back from MicroCon, I've really been thinking on, is that whether you are supportive of MicroCon, whether you're, a part of that aspect of the micronational community, whether you want to be, that's something that is a really beautiful example of how different micronations can connect with each other, and how the micronational community can come together. It was this one guy in Kevin Baugh who knew a few other micronations and said, hey, why don't we just give this a shot? Why don't we just try to slap something together and see if it works and see if people come to it? And sure enough, he had an absolute outcry of support, and people have year after year come back to it, to be able to keep it up and running and to make it something that has become a staple in the micronational community. And the micronational community as a whole doesn't have much of that at all. There are a couple little things here and there. We have the micro wiki. Oh goodness, I am abusing you guys. I'm so sorry about that. I smacked y'all in the face. We have like micro wiki, like we have a lot of online resources to help people with their micro, about the concept of micronationalism, but we don't really have much in the way of actual unifying events, things where people can come together and show what their nations are up to, what their purpose is, what they are about as individuals, and what their community has been able to accomplish. And fortunately, that's something that Microcon does really well, almost effortlessly. So I definitely can appreciate everybody's thoughts on different ways to continue to develop the micronational community and advance its goals. But I think Microcon is one of those things that's a staple for a reason. It's going to be pretty hard to beat in the coming years. So that being the case, you can see our fire's really roaring now. We added some more sticks in there. We're getting it a little bit hot. And you can see my hand is really gross now for messing with this clay. We now have something that actually resembles clay. You know what I mean? It's mud, yes. It's dirt, yes. But it's something that is workable. It's something that we can kind of slap down and get some structure on. I'm actually going to grab a little bit more out of here. And one thing that you'll notice is, again, it just looks like big dirt rocks. You know, it's stuff that really doesn't look well polished or well worked with. And it didn't take me very long to make and to put together, but we get something that looks like this. You know, this little gross hunk of clay right here, this little dry piece of dirt, if you will. Oh gosh, that fire is just horrendous and right in my face. So hopefully it doesn't follow us that much. You can, right in your face. Okay, so now we've kind of added some more of this dry to our mixture. Gonna kind of spread that around, see if we can't moisten it up a little bit. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just dip our hands in some water, add that to it, and keep on mixing. So now we've got this little area, this little setup, in just a few minutes. Oh, okay, our fire's really, really going now. Let me see if I can't show you guys that just a little bit. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but oh geez, that guy is seriously roaring. So the good news is these bricks that are right on top are serving their purpose well. They're getting very, very hot, and they're going to be the receptacle for whatever shape we are going to mold our clay into. So now that we're starting to get it, we really need to break it up a little bit more to get it more uniform. You can see there's some places where, because it's a mixture of dry and wet, it's already cracking. It's already causing some problems. So we want to go ahead and get that nice and wet and do that. But that being the case, while we do this, I want to talk about the Aeternian government, because we are developing a lot of changes. We're investing in a lot of stuff that we generally hadn't in the past, but we're starting to buckle down on a lot more of our projects and a lot more of what we're trying to shape the future of Aeternia to be. So in a professional light, a lot of that is focusing down on our metals refining industry. There's some stuff in the future that I'm excited to talk about with that, but we're trying to get more equipment together. We are trying to be able to provide reliable, consistent products to our customer base, and hopefully expand that customer base to include more consistent clientele. So that would be people who actually need larger raw materials, larger amounts of raw materials. That being people who need relatively simple finished products, things that we can pour relatively easy and in not too high a volume. So that being the case, we should be able to do that relatively easily, and I'm excited for the future of that process. And then that leads us into being able to kind of expand our currency more, with people having invested so much into the imperial market and in our currency there. just in supporting the Empire of Eternia through the Imperial Note. Our aristocrats, who are the people who own most of the currency in the Empire of Eternia, or the people who own the most currency, they are really the driving force behind a lot of our economic investment. So, they were the people who helped us to get the land in Vitae. They're the people who are now helping us to be able to support continued growth of our equipment and development. So that way, we're not having to rely on that. There is a benefit to people supporting you and to people believing in what you do, but at the same time, there's a certain limit to that. You can't continually and repeatedly expect people to be able to give out of the goodness of their hearts, out of their support for your cause. At a certain point, there has to be a value that's created for that. There has to be something that really is something that they keep coming back for. And I hope that thus far that has been, education and micronationalism, that has been support of our beliefs and the reason that we're developing Aeternia. But more so than that, I hope to be able to eventually provide products that are really highly sought after, regardless of people's interest in micronationalism or Aeternia, what have you. I hope that we can become not only a staple in the micronational community as far as being able to provide support and being a hub for development, but also I really, really want us to be able to branch out to our local community and be able to branch out into these spaces where people have no idea what micronationalism is. There was an interaction I had yesterday. I had to go to the store, and I was walking around in my ascot and my green jacket, my official kind of Eternian uniform, so to speak. And it's not anything too crazy, but there was somebody who came up and asked me about it. Somebody who worked at the store mentioned it and said that they liked the ascot. Goodness. And said that they were somebody who works on developing clothes themselves and, kind of designing for their own styles. So that was something that was really cool to see. Somebody kind of giving me props for that, and I told them about Aeternia and about the YouTube channel very briefly. I don't think they really got the concept of micronationalism all that much from it, but maybe that kind of piques their interest. I feel like that's something I'd like to do a lot more of. But anyway, we have our clay now. You can see it is more of a smooth surface, significantly less rocks. Hopefully no rocks, but that's already not true. I can see a few there. We want to try and get as many of those rocks out as possible, but we have a pretty good setup right now. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to kind of shape this. So I want to sit you guys in a place so you can hang out for a moment. See if I can't prop this up. Let you guys hang out. Yeah, so you see this? What we're going to do. Oh goodness, if I had a better place, I might do it on here. Let's see how this rust works with our process. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make it into a little shape. So while we're talking and hanging out and there's absolutely brutal fire going on behind me, I can kind of make this into something. I tried last time a little bullshit. Oh gosh. Absolute abuse. Absolute abuse of subscribers. That is, I think, a crime in like 7 different countries. Maybe 20 different micronations. I'm not certain, but definitely not good at the very least. What I'm trying to do here, you can maybe see my shape starting to form. I'm trying to make a little bowl. Not working out great, but we're slowly making progress on it. Trying to stack up the sides, show you guys the finished product more in a minute, and scrape out a lot of these rocks, a lot of these impurities, because those are going to be the things that once it heats up, break and crack the most. Those are the detriment to our final product. So those are the weak points, those are the problems, and we really want to get a pure, refined clay out of this. Again, this was pretty good. I think adding it back to that rock that I was messing with was a bad idea because it had other little pebbles and stuff stuck to it. So I can tell that the bottom of this thing is just kind of filled with little rocks. And that I think is going to cause a hampering to our final product. But what we're going to do instead, oh gosh, if you guys can actually stay on track with me if I don't bend things around too much. Absolutely not. The universe said nope. YouTube said nope. I said, I guess nope. Let's check on our fire. Yep, that looks like a fire. That for sure looks like a fire. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, I'll throw it onto there. which may be a little better. Flip the camera around, show you guys. This is our setup. Again, flames scorching up here, trying to stick more of our wood in the fire. We're getting our little Aeternian setup going here for a cultural arts and crafts day. You know, a celebration of what it is that we've done and developed over the past 4 years on YouTube, pretty much. This is a milestone for us, and even though this particular project is still a work in progress, it represents, I think, that kind of work in progress that is with our nation as well. But it shows that we're doing something. I feel like that's one of the things that a lot of people really don't take to heart about micronationalism. It is what you put into it. There are going to be plenty of times where if you were developing a micronation, or if you're just, you know, friends with someone who is, you're helping out, or you believe in a cause that a micronation supports and you want to do that, a lot of the time it really is going to be just how much you can put into it, and that's not a problem. I feel like a lot of the time people look at that as a negative. You know, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough ability, I don't have enough, you know, education in this or that or the other. I, you know, have never made this before, I've never done this before. I don't think that should ever be a reason for somebody not chasing their dreams, not trying to pursue what it is that they're interested in. What I'm doing here, I'm not sure if this is a good idea or a bad idea, but I wanted to kind of thicken up the bottom of this guy. So what I'm doing here is I'm kind of just pinching it. As you can see, I'm trying to make a weird little shape. This probably isn't going to become much of a bowl anymore, but may become an interesting kind of decorative piece. I think it's kind of interesting because this shows the dynamics, the change of how you start off with one thing and you end up with something entirely different. I think that is something that is well attributed to micronationalism and the micronational community as well. When we are designing things, when we're creating things as micronationalists, we always have this ideal in mind, this concept of, I know exactly what I want my country to turn out as, I know exactly the reason that I'm developing this and its purpose and its hopes and its dreams, but that doesn't always mean that that's how it works out. You're constantly learning from the people who are around you. You're constantly trying to, you know, improve. So a lot of the time what your initial thought of what's going to be successful and going to work out and going to help people isn't always what does. So there's constant modifications, there's constant losses, there's constant planning. But in all that, you end up with something that hopefully makes you smile, and something that makes you feel like the world is a slightly better place because it exists. And that's something that I'm really proud of in the Aeternian community, but also just in the micronational community as who we are. That's something that has always inspired me and always been something that I am really lucky to be a part of and to see in real time. I don't think many people get to say that in their lives, that like, hey, I'm a part of something going on in history right now. You know, I'm a part of something that really matters in the terms of how people view society. Anyway, it was a long ramble just to say I appreciate you guys, and to say that that's, you know, an incredible part of who we are and what we do, not only as Aeternians, but as the micronational community. Here's our weird little cup. I think he's pretty cute. Let me know what his name is, or her name. You know, we're not trying to define it based on that, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw it right there. In fact, what I might do is I might put it straight over one of these holes. Hottest one, I think, maybe right there. And so what that's going to do is that's just going to crisp up that bottom. And then I'm going to throw a whole bunch more stuff in here. This fire is still roaring hot, even though there's nothing. You can see it's just ash in there. What we're going to do is we're going to throw some more sticks on the pile, get it burning, get it cooking, and then we will keep checking in on it and see how it does. One of the bigger things that we're going to have to look out for is cracking. You can see there's a little bit of cracks forming in the sides of it, kind of on the edges. So it's a pretty sturdy structure, and I kind of wanted to make something like that to show you guys. As you get better and better with this, you know, you can make things that are thinner and more intricate, but if you're doing something as rugged as this setup, I really don't want to chance it, especially for the video. So I'm going to make something cute, something tiny, something that I really don't think will crack up too much, and we'll see how it goes. See if we can't use it for something. One of the things that's important to remember about this as well, this particular piece is not glazed in any way. So we do have the ceramic, we do have the clay that it is made out of, but after that clay kind of does its job and hardens up, that doesn't necessarily mean we can drink out of it. You know, you can use it to some degree, and I'll show you, I'll kind of test it out. It will be fairly waterproof or water resistant, I should say. But if you left water in it overnight, let's say, it would really, really soften up. So you're going to want to add a good bit more additional to that. Now that process of making something more water resistant for earthenware is called glazing. You may have heard of pottery glaze, and that's exactly what that is for. That's its purpose. And there are many types of natural glazes that you can use on top of you know, the glaze that you would buy at the store. Obviously, the glaze that you buy at the store is going to be your most expensive option, but it's also going to be the most well fit for creating professional pottery. You know, that's going to be the stuff that you can really, really have a high water resistance with. You can have a high confidence in it. It'll have a lot of benefits to the final product that you get, the look of it. But there are natural substitutes. People have been doing this for thousands and thousands of years. Our ancestors, this was the way that they made their pottery and their utensils and things like that in a lot of cases. So, and a lot of their tools. So this is something that is incredibly useful. You can use milk, for example, to glaze, which is something that I didn't know and something I'd like to try out, if not in this live stream actively. When we get done with this piece, maybe I will do it kind of passively in the video that we put out about glazing and about clay in general. But one of the things that I've been thinking about, and you guys will have to let me know if you're interested in this, I want to start selling Vitaean clay, just the raw clay. I'll sell it in different sizes so that you guys can start messing around with pottery. I'll make it pretty cheap. It's just dirt. So having this nice, more purified Vitaean clay, I will probably have slightly different colors in it because, you know, there's red clay here, but there's also brown clay. So having different kind of shades to the clay would be kind of nice. But just giving you guys the ability to kind of experiment with it, play around with it, and also that added fact of this is an Aeternian product. This is something that 100% comes from the Empire of Aeternia. It isn't, no parts of it are manufactured anywhere else. No parts of it are anything but micronational. And this is something that you can use to make your own micronational products. So, and show off kind of for us. It would also be kind of a cool community bonding experience, I think, because you could have people that hit us up and say, hey, we made so-and-so type of pottery, you know, send us your pictures and we'll send you a free little additional bottle of clay, maybe something like that big, or, you know, we'll raffle off some little small clay samples and stuff. Or, you know, you may, if your sculptures are good enough and people like them, we may sell them on the Imperial market and give you a bonus from that. So just kind of let us, goodness, my voice cracked. I've somehow spontaneously become 14 years old. But if you guys are interested in that, if you think that's something that's cool that you would want to participate in as the micronational community and supporting each other in kind of a larger project, let me know. If that's something that you would buy, definitely let me know, because I would throw it on the Imperial market very soon. We'll have our own packaging for it. We'll have kind of our own little setup. And it'll, of course, come with the nice handwritten note that all of our purchases thus far have come with. If we ever get to a super high volume in purchases, I probably won't continue writing the notes for every single thing. But for everybody who's purchased anything from the Imperial market thus far, I have written a nice little thank you note and done the Aeternian wax seal ceremony for it. So it's a very official, formal process just to thank the people who support us. But anyway, here is... goodness. Here is our clay slowly drying out. We don't have that roaring fire, but it is heating up. You can see there's a little bit of smoke. What I'm going to go ahead and do is just blow on this. See if I can't get it to stoke the fire a little. Push this brick a little closer and then kind of... Okay. What I think we're having part of a problem with is there isn't a consistent flame going on. So I'm going to just shove some kindling in there, see if that can stoke the flames just a little bit more. If we can get some of that burning, then that should fall onto our primary fuel and get that to burn a little faster as well. So we're just going to kind of spread that out, let it heat up as quick as possible. Going to add a little bit of air. Hopefully speed up that process just a little bit. There we go. And now we've got our fire back. Got some sticks going in there. We'll start to add some more, but that's really going to start to crisp up our little bowl here. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I mean, this thing in particular, not going to have probably a ton of uses. Again, ornamental, you know, we can probably do some improvements if we add little hand tools to kind of smooth it out. But this would be nice as maybe a little toothpick holder, you know, maybe as, if you had small pins, you could maybe do it as a pin holder, but I wouldn't do it as something like that. If you put a pin cushion in it, you could make it a pin holder for like sewing. I know a lot of people in the micronational community make their own flags, stuff like that. So that would be of interest. You know, little projects like this, they're functional. They look a little silly. You know, they're kind of hard to work with at times. Oh goodness, keep getting all this smoke in my face. But they really are something that, if you have enough imagination, if you have enough pursuit and consistency in it, you can really make some beautiful things all by yourself, and things that will actually help you in the future. Again, this is something that I can say is 100% Aeternian. It's not from Vitae. This clay isn't from Vitae, but I made it. It's something that, you know, comes from Alabama, comes from where Aeternia is, and this is actually American clay, but we're going to be grabbing some Vitaean clay pretty soon to work with more officially. For this celebration, I figured I wanted to show you guys what I've been up to, kind of what my mindset is as we go into 10,000 subscribers. If we hit that, I am going to be doing backflips on camera, and I don't know how to do a backflip, so that will be probably very dangerous. But oh goodness, about to say it again. 2,000 subscribers is absolutely incredible, and that means we're reaching our goals quicker than I would have ever expected. So I appreciate you guys. But that being the case, let me go ahead and start reading some comments. I've been saying I want to. Gorthian Federation, of course I see you guys. What's going on? It's good to see y'all. Republic of Vislin. How are you? It's good to see you. I haven't seen Vislin in a minute, I don't think. Maybe since the last live stream. It has been a good time. MTL Aerospace, it's good to see you guys. How's your aerospace company going? How are things working out? This is a very interesting project. Republic of Vislin said, Joe. Gorth said, hi AP, congrats. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys supporting us and getting us to this 2,000. Long road, long journey. A lot of it is honestly on me for why we haven't gotten here even quicker, but I'm proud of our pace. Even with our community waxing and waning at times, even with us, you know, constantly struggling through financial difficulties, struggling through, you know, trying to have Aeternia find its way, trying to grow our citizen base, you guys have been there. You guys have been there supporting us and helping us to make it happen. And everything that we have now is thanks to you. So I just want to make that known. And I also want to try and do projects like this that show you guys that we are making progress. We are doing things that matter. We're doing things that are going to help to grow the Aeternian community, and we're doing things that hopefully will inspire additional creation from you guys in the community. Right now we have 11 viewers and 10 likes. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's liked so far. If you do like the video, it helps to share it around with the rest of the community and let people know what we're doing here in Aeternia. But more importantly than that, what you guys are doing by hanging out here is actively contributing to our culture. When you guys do make these comments, as I read and as I continue to go through, I learn about your micronations, I learn about everything that you're up to, and it teaches me. It really, really does. Every single year that I've been in the micronational community thus far, on YouTube or not, I have just continued to grow and continued to learn, and you guys have pushed me to do that, so thank you for that. Francisco says, finally, I know it, right? Finally, we have reached the elusive 2,000 subscribers. Robert says, this is Aeternia. I'm back. It's good to see you, Robert. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm glad to see that you're appreciating our live stream today. But remember, our edited content is Aeternia as well. We are, we're trying to show off the ways that we are developing and doing so in something that tries to appeal to a larger audience. The micronational community is always going to be our baby. It's always going to be, the heart of who we are. But I think for micronationalism to truly grow and develop, we have to start to reach out to a larger audience base. And that's a difficult thing to do, while still being genuine to who you are, while still continuing to do the same things. So our method of doing that is to continue doing the same projects we love, to continue to develop Aeternia in the way that we've been doing, trying to get online support, trying to start affecting our local community in little ways. And honestly, at the end of that, everybody's been really receptive. There have been so many people who have come in and said, I had no idea what micronations are. What are micronations? To now, as we start to hit 2,000 subscribers, coming in and being like, I'm starting my own micronation of na. And it's like, wow, that, over a 2, 3, 4 month span of somebody coming in, they go from no idea what a micronation is to I'm developing one, and me and my friends have this thing, and we've put together this much money, and we're saving up to do this, and here's what our economy is going to be, and we've talked to this micronation about our currency, and we're doing a trade a lot. Like, you guys are popping off. You guys really, really are. I am always impressed by that, and I can't wait to see more. Let me zoom out. Oh goodness, I'm not sure if I can anymore. Robert says, so much to ask about my comment on Discord. So must ask about my comment on Discord. Could Aeternia become a true nation after a nuclear war? That's a great question, Robert. I would say Aeternia is a true nation. You know what I mean? We aren't a recognized nation, but we're a nation. We're doing things. We're developing. And as far as our recognition, as far as if an apocalypse made our recognition valid, I don't know about that. I feel like that's such a bad scenario for everybody involved that any benefit we would gain from it would not be worth the cost to us and everyone else on the planet. So while that may gain us more legitimacy in some senses, I would imagine it would put us in a lot more danger of being destroyed and killed, and would also put us in a position where we really have access to a lot fewer resources than we would otherwise. You know what I mean? With a nuclear apocalypse or something like that, you would have no access to quick medical care. So if I broke my leg, trying to do a thing, I could die. And then if I died, how far does Aeternia go after that? So these are questions. I've actually posed that specific question about what happens when micronational leaders die and about planning for the future and stuff like that. But that particular scenario is a fairly grim one because you don't know how many people are surviving. You don't know how that's going to work out. So nuclear war, off the table for us. We're not excited about it. But if it did happen, we would do our best to survive, I suppose. Francisco says, you said you wouldn't stream today. Exactly. I was like, nope, there's no way I'm going to stream today. Francisco called it because he asked on our Discord, hey, I miss your streams. When are you going to stream? And I was like, my schedule, I'm not going to be able to stream for a long time. And then we hit 2,000 today, and I was like, I really need to do an edited video, but this week I've already been late on our edited video. I might as well do the live stream. I might as well go in for you, Francisco. I might as well go in for the people who have been wanting it. And it's nice. This is something that's probably not going to reach too much of a larger audience by the time it leaves our live stream. But it's something that marks an era of progress for us. And I can make an edited video about that. I can be like, woo, thank you guys, 2,000. I don't think that's the best way to go. I think talking to you guys, telling you actively my thoughts as I hear the words 2,000 subscribers, as we continue to grow, as I show you what I'm doing on this day, I think that's more impactful. It's lower quality for sure. It's not something that's real fancy, but I'm hoping that it is something that appeals to you guys, because that's ultimately who I'm doing it for. Trying to develop Aeternia for the people who are interested in its beliefs, who are interested in seeing it develop and become what it is meant to. So you guys are the ones who are actively helping us to get there, and I want to be able to show you guys my thanks for that. So continuing on this guy's starting to get a little crispy. He's actually pretty solid. What I'm going to go ahead and do, it's very hot, so I'm going to have to do it with something, but I want to kind of flip him. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to grab this stick. I'm going to see if I can't lean him to the side. Hopefully it doesn't break. Doesn't look like it did. And then real quick, hot. There we go. So now I put it upside down. You can see where it's, oh gosh, that fire is gross. you can see where it's kind of burnt right there on the bottom. But you can see all this white right here. This is just what the clay looks like as it's dried. This is burnt. This is singed from the ash, and that'll be on the sides. But we can actually, because of how well fire resistant, water resistant this will be, as we continue to cook it, we're going to get to a point where we're able to really start working with it. So that's the thing that I'm excited about. That's the thing that I think is going to be really cool, is being able to kind of make wash it off and put water in there and show you guys that this is something that has become functional. Again, it's going to be dirty still. It's going to be gross. You know, this isn't like a piece of pottery that you would purchase at the store that has glaze on it already. This isn't something I would necessarily drink out of. This isn't something that I'd use for a lot of stuff until you glaze it. So we're going to have to do that part of the process. Glazing it will be a whole separate video, but for now, this is something that we're actively working with. And the cool thing about this setup too is that we have multiple little spots for stuff. So as you can see, there's some clay here in this water that's been sitting and that I've kind of been letting have all the impurities sink down to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a good bit of this clay, just a little tiny smidge of it, I guess, try and scoop up what I can, and then see if I can't let the water drain out and throw it on top of our slab here. What kind of little tiny figurine should I make? What kind of little thing can I make with this goopy goop? We will find out. I'm going to grab a big chunk of this, and I'm going to just kind of throw it in here, let it break up, let it become soft, and just kind of start working with it. This smaller piece already breaking up, already becoming soft, so, you know, just kind of letting that go in the water. I know dirty water isn't the most exciting thing to watch on YouTube, but what is exciting is the progress that we're making with it. So again, we have one on the fire right now, getting ready to go, already making an Aeternian product. We got one little goopy schmoop right there. You know, a pretty pure piece of clay. You know, the other pieces, like you saw, I was removing rocks and stuff. This stuff, just pretty good clay. You know, pretty soft right now. Very wet, so we're gonna have to let that dry out a little bit. But while we do that, I figured I'd give some clay that's going to be a little bit thicker, something that's going to have a little more malleability to it, and kind of combine that together, let it sift down to the bottom, and then pull out what we can. So I'm going to go ahead and try some of this right here, add that to it. This particular piece that I grabbed probably wasn't great because it's a little bit rocky, but what we'll do is we'll go in here, we'll slap down some of this dry, try and add it, crumble it in like a powder there, you know, refine it as much as we can with our hands here, get it moist, and then start making another shape. I'm curious as to what you guys want to see, what you guys would make if you were here. Because I think that's kind of part of this creative process is learning about what you guys like and learning about, you know, what can be done from what we have. As well, if you have a couple tiny rocks in it, it's not going to kill your product. But again, you know, your product is going to be dependent on how pure your clay is and how much you work with actually developing the shape of it. So that's something that I would consider. I'd be on the lookout for, you know, how well you can actually go about kind of shaping your stuff and making it into what you want. But that being the case, we got some relatively pure clay here. Gonna be working with that and trying to pull out these little rocks and stuff as we do. So now that we've got a little piece, kind of got it smushed up, I'm gonna go ahead and make another little object. So what I might do for this one, pull out some of this stuff. I might try and make like a little chess piece shape or like a little statue of a person. We're gonna see. So I'm gonna hold this actually while I work with both hands, so you guys will have to excuse me if the camera quality is a little bad, but we're gonna make a little shape. We're gonna make a little guy here. This is just gonna be experimental. Gonna see how it goes, but we'll try and make something cool. So let me know what you guys want to see. What we might do is we might just make a little pyramid shape. and just see if that'll stay solid. Might be a cool little decoration. We might paint it. We might sell it on the Imperial market. You never know. So we're just going to try that. Hopefully it doesn't fall over too bad. One of the things that I have that's kind of nice as well, I think I brought it out with me. This is a tool that clay sculptors use very regularly. I am no professional clay sculptor, but if we come over here, I grabbed a little piece of wire. Ideally, you want some real thin wire to do this, but this should work for our purposes here today, our rudimentary Aeternian clay experiments. So we're going to take this, we're going to scrape it along the bottom, try not to build up a ton of resistance. And the reason I'm doing it like this, you'll see professional sculptors do it real quick, but they also have specialized, little plates that they're working with, and, nice wire that will give them a very low resistance. So what I'm going to do, I'm stacking our little wet piece right there. Hopefully it's strong enough to stay up, kind of hold resilient. There we go. So we have our little triangular mound here, and we have, oh gosh, it's very wobbly. I'm curious to see how this is going to work. And we have our actual little clay structure. Our bowl seems pretty good. It seems pretty dry inside and out, so I'm going to actually take that off, let it try and cool down for a little while. We've got that one, now we're doing this guy. So I might actually pick him up and plop him over there. He's a little more rigid than I thought he'd be, but he's not great. I'll show you kind of the upside view, but there we go, another little piece of Aeternian art. We may paint it, we may make it into a little mountain and stuff, just kind of give it some scenery. This is something that can go in our little Aeternian dwellings. This can go in the RV that we're working on, where we're starting to get power and water for Vitae. So this is the development of our culture alongside our technological development, alongside our economic development. It all kind of goes hand in hand, and I'm hoping to show that more and more here on the channel, as well as just to the people who are interested in developing with and supporting the Aeternian community, is that this is what we do. We go about trying to make progress any way we can. We go about trying to bring you the best of our knowledge and our understanding so that we can eventually achieve our goals. So we got our fire stoked up now. It's getting all excited, and we're trying to give it some fuel to keep feeding that. So while we continue on to our next piece, you can already see some of that clay right there on the edge drying out instantly. It's just so thin that this is already going to be, a pretty quick work in progress. We're going to keep throwing more of this this fuel in the fire. Going to keep adding some more wood, and of course that's going to heat it up quicker. But the thing that I'm most excited about here is just how well we've been able to do this. I was really concerned that that one in the background was going to just fall apart. We really weren't going to be able to do much about it, but this is going well. So what we're going to do, I'm going to throw this in there, keep going. I appreciate you guys. I will say we've been going at about an hour, and we have 10 consistent 10 consistent viewers. We've gotten all the way up to, I think, 12 or 13. But this is really, really cool. Like, what we're doing right now is actively growing our watch time. So, 20, if we get 20 watch time hours out of this, that would be very worth it to putting us closer on track to our goals as far as monetization. But here we go. We're throwing some more in, trying to get it continued to be built up. Also, we're at like 800 subscribers on TikTok now all of a sudden. I don't know how that happened, but I appreciate you guys supporting us on there. A lot of what we do on there, answering comments, which is something that people really like on this channel, but we've also been kind of just talking to people about the updates that we have. When we're about to drop a new video, we do that. So if you guys ever miss our notifications, or if there's ever anything that you want to ask us and get kind of a more direct personal answer, TikTok, but still have a video format of it, TikTok is a great way for us to do that, because it's small videos. We can make them relatively easy. There's no expectation of it being super high quality or anything, and so we just kind of do that. But that's been fun, and we're now almost to the point where we can live stream on there. So if you guys are really hype about the live streams and you want to support us, I know TikTok is really good about, like, people can get supported and get donations and stuff on TikTok pretty easy. So if you guys are interested in, goodness, supporting us there and trying to get us some more hype, that definitely helps us so that we can reach a milestone there and be able to go live on TikTok, as well as starting to reach monetization here on YouTube. That's two sources of social media income that we would have at that point, and that would be something that would be well worth us continuing to invest in. You know, whichever development of our industries starts growing quickest is where we're going to start developing and investing most of our resources. So the more that you guys continue to support us here, and the more that you guys jump over to those other platforms, of course we're on Instagram and TikTok, TikTok, Twitter, all of that, you can start to see us grow more through all of them. You know, the more you support us on more platforms, the more that you share our content and all that stuff, the better that it helps us. But enough talking about that. What's happening with you guys in the comments? Robert says, by saying taking over neighboring towns and counties, no, we don't take people over. That's not how we work. If people want to join us, they can join us. We do not infringe on anybody else's right to exist as they want to exist, just as we do not want anybody to infringe on our right to exist as we want to exist. So if people want to join Aeternia, they can do that, and anytime someone's in need, we would always pitch to them, you know, if you join Aeternia, we can support you more than we could otherwise. But that being the case, because we can all work together as a bigger community, but that being the case, we don't want to take anybody over. We're an empire, but we're an empire of voluntary support. We are an empire that is based on people's belief in us, not our ability to conquer, hurt, and scare people. So, that being the case, we, even in an apocalyptic situation, would be trying to help others, trying to get society back on its feet, even if it's societies that don't support ours. If people wanted to join ours, they certainly could, but we're not going to use that as a way to take advantage of other people who are just trying to survive the same as we are. That's a great question, Robert. Gorth says, Gorth brought a truck for supplies and other things. Hey, that's awesome, Gorth. Congratulations. That's very cool. I can't wait to see more on the Gorthian truck. Gorthian transport fleet. That's awesome. Francisco says, we're minting our coins, the shilling, pence, and para. Very cool. It sounds like two of those are inspired by Britain. What's the para inspired by? I'm curious. Torrance says, Clay, what's going on? Yes, sir. We are developing some cool little clay crafts for the Empire of Aeternia. We already made a little cup. As you can see, it's very tiny. It's maybe like a shot glass, more so. But we have that, and we also are making this cool little pyramid shape. We're making a cool little like mountain type of structure that I think is cute. That we're setting up for. So you can already see, again, we're getting a lot more dry there. It kind of looks like a little mountain, actually. It's pretty cool. But yeah, we're just working on this. We're growing our fire. We're talking to everybody and seeing what everybody's up to on the channel. And yeah, I appreciate you being here, Torrance. Torrance is from Kingmania, which actually put out a while back a citizenship scholarship, which we're still waiting on replies for. So if you guys want to become a citizen of the Empire of Aeternia and have a year of free taxes, you know, you wouldn't have to pay any taxes for the entire first year. Kingmania has sponsored a program to do that, so that's really cool of them. I certainly appreciate it, and I'm excited to see what kind of cool creative people come out of the woodworks for that opportunity. So I can't wait. It's really a way for people to be able to join our community and see what's going on. Francisco says, also congratulations. Thank you, Francisco. I'm super hype about it. Again, 2,000 subscribers is something that we didn't think we were going to be able to see for a long time, so that's incredible. I will say I'm going to walk away for a minute because my device was overheating, and when that happens, as quickly as possible, YouTube tries to shut off on me. So instead of having the live stream end abruptly, which it still might, fair warning, but to try and limit the likelihood of that, we're going to go ahead and walk around. We are just now hitting exactly an hour. We still have 10 people watching. Again, thank you guys so much for that. If we can hit 2 hours, we will have around 20 watch time hours on this stream, and that does help us to significantly improve our watch time hour numbers to get us back to where we wanted to be, getting closer to 4,000 watch time hours for the year. I'm concerned because I can't find our skink boy, our boy